Hello! Happy Tuesday! Welcome to the fans of Ledoux Designs. This is Sandy Ledoux, ready to do some fun stuff with you guys tonight. I can't wait. But I will for just a little bit for a few people to pop on. I am going to need my little standard grip here pad tonight that I got from the Dollar Tree. Super cheap. Hi, Leslie. We are going to have some fun tonight. When you guys pop on, if somebody could say hello so I can make sure comments are working, that would be really great. So I thought it was perfect because we're going to use this sentiment tonight from our supervillains. It says, another year wiser, braver, and more unstoppable. And that is what we are going to be tonight, unstoppable. So I'm going to use these two products from our shop. And I don't know if you guys caught the live that Dale did last week where he made this card where the dragon pops out. And I know that there have been several people that have asked for a repeat of this card type so they can learn how to do this little unstoppable pop out. So that is what we are going to do tonight. Only I had to learn how to do it, so I modified it to A2. This is a bigger card. Is it 5.5 by 5.5? But we're going to do one tonight that does the same mechanism of popping out using an A2 card. Hey, Meg, can you say hi so I can make sure I can see the comments? Please, pretty please. So that is what we are going to work on tonight. Thank you. Great. Hey, Susie. Hey, Meg, Tamara, everybody. It was amazing. He did such a great job. Hi, Andrea. Drea's here, and Susie and everybody. Yay, I'm so glad. So I've decided to use the comic universe and the supervillains, and we have quite a bit to do tonight, so we are going to go ahead and get started. You know, as always, there'll be a little bit of coloring at the beginning, and then we're going to go over all the measurements and all the sizes and everything you need to do in order to create this card in A2 size. So we're going to use the Ninja, and I'm so glad that Dre and Tamara are here because this is going to be my card that I'm going to contribute to the women's album over in Happy Creations. It is going to be for the theme song Unstoppable, and we're going to do an Unstoppable Girl Ninja. So here we go. It is, I did all the planning this time, and you guys know I don't usually plan, but yes, those will arrive to you very soon. That is why I chose them.
Scheduled for Friday.
Yep, you're scheduled to get yours on Friday, and that is why I chose it tonight, so that you could color your girl, and you could do the same replication of the card. So that is the reason that I chose that. Now, clearly, we're going to use some pink tonight because we're going to be doing a girl ninja. And we're going to give her a little bit darker skin tone. Although you don't see much of her skin, you really just see, we could put gloves on her, or those could be her hands. So tonight they're going to be her hands. And I am going to use that color blend that I talked about a little while back on how I do a darker skin tone using a little bit different colors than you would normally expect. I think it'll be fun, and I think you guys will like it. So we're going to go ahead and run with that. So tonight I'm going to use Copics, and I'm going to use E00, E23, E74, 77, and 79. Now don't go away after I start because you'll miss the cool part. when I start off by wetting the paper with the E00. So we're going to start off with that, and we're going to just wet where her face is. Most of it is hidden, so that's okay. And then we're going to do her hands, and then the rest of her is all covered up by her little ninja outfit.
Andrea said that she can't stay long because she has a live soon, but she'll keep it open on the browser and watch the replay.
Awesome. And I will upload to YouTube, so you can watch it anytime you want and get the measurements. I will flash the measurements in writing on the screen as I get ready to do it, so you'll be able to do it too. Oh, Meg, why did it kick you off? That is not okay. Then we're going to go right into our E79, which is very dark. It's called Cashew. And thank you. And we're just going to put that in the very, very dark hidden areas of this. So I'm going to put a little bit like right here under her eyes and a little bit in the corners. And we're going to put a little bit more on the hands so that they stand out from the rest of her.
Timothy said hi.
Hey, Timothy. I just watched Timothy color on Instagram, you guys. So if you don't follow him, you should. He did some really cute stuff from Stamp Anything tonight. So you can go watch the replay if you want.
What's his... How do they find him on Instagram?
Put your Instagram handle in there, Timothy, so they can go watch your live because it was really, really cute. I'm going to use E77 next. And that Jungle Book theme is so adorable. I've been eyeballing it here for a little while since I started seeing everybody's creations with it. It is so cute. And you did a fabulous job coloring those. Okay, so we have a little bit of the dark color in there. Yes, Timothy is amazing. We really like him here. Okay, I'm going to go to E74, and then I have saved E23 for overpainting. So hang on just a second, and I'll show you what that means. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of her skin tone with this E74. It's a lot lighter, and this color definitely doesn't look like skin, so please don't be distracted by that. It will when I get to the next color. It's one of my favorites, but you have to do it fast, because if you don't, and you have to keep going over it to smooth it out, you'll mess it up. It takes a little bit of practice for this one, but this is small areas, so I know you guys can do it. Now with E23, we're just going to go over top of all of the color that we put on there already. And this is what's going to give it that warmth of skin tone. The underpainting and the overpainting. You'll be able to see it a little bit better on the hands. And once we get the other color in there, it will look good. But everybody knows brown and pink go really well together. So that is why we are going to do her in pink today. So there we go. Now we have our skin tone done. Next, we're going to choose some different colors. I'll show you what paper patterns and stuff. I've chosen these colors. So we can really do anything with pink, purple, yellow. I think I'm going to stick with pink and purple. But we could add blue and stuff if we wanted. Maybe we'll put a different color stone on her. Maybe we'll do like a blue stone, and we'll use let's do it with the fluorescence. That'll be really fun. Let's do that. So FB2 is fluorescent blue. I'm going to do the bottom part of it so that that's where the dark shadow area will be. It's not a lot, but it is a little, and maybe I'll do a little on her hat, on her headband too, but we'll see. FBG2 is the fluorescent blue-green color. And I'm going to go from the other end so I don't drag that dark color into this stone. I just want to keep it light on the top, dark on the bottom. Your favorite color. And then, oh, there's one on the other side. I almost missed that. I'm going to put a little bit on this one. I almost missed that. There we go. I haven't colored these little guys in a while, so no worries, but I got this. So since we're going to do a little bit of purple and a little bit of pink, I'm going to grab a few of the RV colors that are pink but have a little bit of that purple tone to them so that they'll match up really nicely. So we have RV 19, 17, 14, and 23. And then I think for our purple, we'll go with one of my favorite purple blends, which is also going to have a little bit of pink in it. So it's going to kind of work together nicely. So I'm going to go with this purple blend, which is V09, 17, 06, and 15. And the reason I read them to you in that order is because that's the order I'm going to use them in. So I usually read them to you guys before we start in the order that I'm going to use them. So you can be ready knowing that which ones I'm going to use. I was going to grab my Copic holder tonight, but I don't know where it is. So I guess we'll just use the marker stand that I have, which looks like this, and you can put it up or you can lay it down. I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to put my pink in it so I don't pick up the wrong colors at the wrong time. I like them when they're like this. I have another stand, but it's the, you know, prototype, because that's usually what I get, and it only stands up. So it is what it is. So I'm going to use that one as well. I want to make sure I don't mix up my colors when I'm using them. So I'm going to start with the purple. No, I lied. I'm going to start with the pink. I like to start with the lighter colors so that I don't pull any of the darker color into the lighter color. So I think what I want is the majority of her outfit to be pink and then a little bit of accent to be purple. So we're going to start with RV19. Oh, you guys, if you haven't come to the Happy Crafty Ho Ho on YouTube late night, people who like to stay up late night and craft, you need to come join us. It's so much fun. I have been having a blast. And I will be on there tomorrow night. So come see me and meet the gang over there. Aunt Ellen, Andrea, Tamara, and a bunch of other people joining over there. So I'm adding some of the accents. I like to do them where the artist drawn lines are, just because, you know, clearly I put them in there because that was my intent. So I like to put the darkest color on those as well. You don't have to. I just know that's what I intended when I did it, so I tend to do that when I color them. So just in the dark areas is where we're adding the darkest color. Oh, you're welcome. Of course. I'm like, you know, our unofficial DT teams, you know, we got to do that. We got to, you know, let everybody know. Okay. So we're going to put a little bit up there around her neck, and then her main body is going to have this pink area in here. And I'm going to save the crisscross for purple. So I'm not going to do that part yet. I'm going to skip the belts. Maybe I'll do some of the belt, like how about the underlining of the belt in pink and the rest will be in purple. So we'll just put a little bit of an underline there. And then we'll add some here as well. A little bit underneath that belt. And then her little legs. This little girl's real easy to color up. She looks detailed, but she's not difficult to color. And I haven't decided on the shoes. I may just go all out and give her purple shoes, because why not, right? I mean, we all love those colors, so we might as well do it. Well, not all of us, but most of us like those colors. Not everybody. Some people would prefer this be orange and teal, but tonight she's pink and purple. Okay, and then the underside of this part of her outfit as well will give us just a little bit of that pink in there. I think for this part is going to be like her armband, and I think I'm going to do the inside of that, the deep purple, so the blue, I mean the deep pink, so the blue stands out, and then the outline of it will be purple. So I'm just deciding those as I go along. I didn't predetermine, just kind of guessing as I go along what I want to do with it. You love being an official part of the unofficial design team, working way up to lead. Yes, you know I'm coming back for you when I need one, and I need a lead. Purple is awesome, and so is pink. I love them both. I would say pink is probably my second favorite color, so, and then there'll be some kind of blue or teal after that, but for now, purple's my favorite by far, and pink follows it right after that. This is going to be one unstoppable little ninja girl. I'm very excited about her. If you're popping in and I'm missing you, the feed's going a little bit faster, and Dale walked out of the room, so I can't see anybody's stuff, but yay! I'm so happy you guys are here. All right, we're going to go up a little bit from this side to keep her head looking rounded. You know, because she is a little ninja there. And since the other colors are significantly lighter than this one, I'm going to go ahead and do that outline of her hat, hood, whatever you want to call it. Going to add a little bit more to each area where I put the dark color, but not a whole lot, just a little bit. I want the lighter colors to come in next. These are larger spaces, so we'll use a bit more here. And then for these underside, I probably won't use this color at all on that, because it's too close to the darkest color. So I don't want to overpower it in dark. I like these pink colors. They're kind of purple still. This is kind of the color that I mix with purple when I do my hair. So it kind of all blends out well. I think I'll probably do our mask pink as well. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead with this second color. So it'll be a little bit lighter than the rest of her outfit. But I think it needs to be pink as well. And some of this will need to be pink as well, but I don't want all of it to be pink, so I think we'll just do the stripes. And then we'll stick with purple for the rest of it. There we go. No problem. This is going super well. It's easy when I've done these a few times, but I needed to make sure I could save time for the project at the end. And my sticky mat is not holding down quite as well as it usually does. I think it's getting old. I'm gonna have to spray it with my Pixie spray. It works really, really well. So now we're going to add some of this pink up here, and you'll start seeing that major color change. It's going to move into pink. And then the last color will bring it all home. So I'm going to extend out from where these lines are so they show up a little bit more. I'm going to do a little bit here. I am going to leave a little white spot because I want to leave some highlight there. Not on that one. It's too small. This arm is back so far that it would be more in shadow. So here we go. We are bringing her home. All we're going to have left are accents after this pink. This is kind of a knot where the cross is going and where the belt is, so I'm not going to do anything with that just yet. And I think purple shoes will be perfect. We'll make sure they're dark enough that they look really good. Gonna catch a little of this before dinner. Never watch Facebook Live before the comments cover the screen, so I can't see. Oh no. Yeah, that happens to me when I watch Happy Crafty at night. I have them on the big screen TV and on my phone so I can make the comments on my phone. I kind of multitask. And I'm coloring and creating projects too, so it's a little bit of a task. But I love it. It's fun. And Dale sometimes reads the comments to me, which is super helpful. All right, so we have one more color, and then we're going to move into purple. And I kind of chose to do these. They would probably be the same color as that, but I want that purple to hang out almost like it's her hair, even though it's not technically her hair, because I think it'll just look really cool like that. This is RV23 is a really light color, so I'm just kind of blending those dark colors into the light. So you'll notice that there's still some lines in there when you do it, so you just have to give it a second to dry while I was talking, and then go over the areas just closest to where the two colors meet up, and they will blend together. See how nicely they did that? It's just a little trick you learn. The more you color, the more you learn. So just going over and kind of working those edges will bring that all smooth for you. So there we go. Nice, smooth coloring there. And then there's that highlight I wanted up over her eyes. And then her mask, of course, I want that to be, I said in the beginning, I wanted that to be lighter than the rest of her, so it kind of stands out. So we're going to let that dry and we'll come back to it to blend it smoothly. And we're going to do the same thing with the bottom of the pants and such. Now, if you struggle with getting those colors to blend together nicely like that, you can always do a tip to tip. I'll show you how that works. Always the light marker onto the dark marker.
I love this image, and of course you're coloring.
Thank you. I love this image too. It's one of my favorites. But I like ninjas. So I've always liked them. I used to have a bunch of stickers that said I'm a ninja.
Oh, you had that artist who gave you a bunch of his.
Yeah, so I could color his artwork for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
His
had
ninjas.
a lot of ninjas. That's where I got the stickers from. I like this to look a little bit on the wrinkled side, kind of texture-ish, so I'm going to stop at that point on the bottom part. And then we're going to go back, and we're going to just smooth some of these little edges out so we get a smooth color in there. See how easy that is? It just kind of flows just nicely. And then we have to do the same with this piece right here, because it didn't blend quite as well as we wanted in the very beginning. So there we go. Oops. Oops, sorry. I touched something crazy on my phone. I always try to do it from my desk. I really should just get up and look at it, but I don't because I'm lazy, I guess. All right, next colors are going to be purple, and that's where we're going to finish off. And then all we have left is her eyes. So V09 is really dark purple. So we're going to start with V09. And I don't think I'm going to put any more blue. I think I'm going to just stick, oh, maybe we'll do her eyes the color of the stones. Let's do that. That'd be really cool. We'll do that. That way we'll have a little bit more blue in there. And those eyes will really stand out. So I don't want this to be too dark, so I'm just going to be adding a little bit in the shadow areas. Not too much. And then down here a little bit, not too much. Here, and then this knot will stay dark because, you know, that's just the way it is. And then we have these crisscrosses here. This one's in shadow. I like to give them a lot of detail on their clothes, but I know that can be somewhat intimidating sometimes, but it's really not that hard. I mean, you don't have to do them in different colors. You can do them in the same color. Just gonna do these little lines, the artist drawn lines, and then right along the sole, where the sole meets the shoe, with the darkest color. And then I'm going to switch to V17. This one is also dark, so I'm not going to use a whole lot of it. We'll do the around the outside with the next color. So we definitely need the next color in this part up here because it's going to have a lot more pink in the purple base. So that'll make our colors match nicely. Not that purple doesn't match with just about everything, I think. But, you know, I'm partial to it. So, I mean, obviously I have to think that, or I can't be wearing my hair purple. Okay, so I wanted the wristbands to look a little bit different than the rest of her. So I didn't put the darkest color in there. I'm going to start with this one. That's one good thing about using more markers when you color. If you just use 2 or 3, you can still get a really nice color, but you can't do different shades on your image if you don't have more colors. So I like to choose somewhere between 3 and 5. I do a lot of 3 and 4 on the videos because it's just helpful for coloring teaching, but I use more often when I'm not coloring online. So you love it? Yay! Here we go. This is V06. It's called lavender, but it is really a different color. So it's what brings in that pink part of purple. So I'm going to finish this top part right here with this color. We're just going to finish that off. That's going to blend really nicely. I like that purple color there. You're a colorist for certain. The images jump off the page as you teach us. Oh, yay! I love to hear that. I've been doing it a long time. Trust me, mine looked so beginnerish and scary when I first started. I was like, I want this to look so good. I really literally colored just about every single day, even if it was only for 10 or 15 minutes, for about 2 to 3 years, just because I wanted to be able to do this really, really well. So practice is key. The more you do, the better you'll be. Oh my gosh, that rhymed. What is wrong with me? I rhymed. Okay, going around the shoes, but leaving the top for highlight. Ooh, I'm liking this colors. Not surprised, but I have one more color to go, and that is I have V15 out, and that one I'll just finish up everything else with that. So I'll finish these. And see how much lighter that is? That's why I saved this area up here to do with this last color. I knew it would blend with V17 from just coloring with it in the past. So I knew I could get that to look very light and different from the rest. So that is why I didn't color anything on that one. And then here, we're just going to blend that out, getting a little bit of highlight there as well. Same thing over here. The really important part to know when you're doing this in order to keep your highlights and your shadows is the more you go over it back and forth, the more you're going to wash out your color. So you want to do it just enough but not too much. And that's where the practice comes in.
We do have a storm coming through, so there could be disruptions.
Oh, we have a storm coming through? Oh, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. We're going to have it done. There we go. Before the storm gets here, we're beating the storm. Okay, so look at that amazing outfit. Let's just hope that I colored that well enough that it matches our background papers. Because if it doesn't, that's going to be a bummer. But I think we're going to be okay. Now, we do still have to do our eyes. So, like I said, we're going to stick with the blue that we used, the fluorescent. We're actually going to do them fluorescent. Yes, we are. So, we're going to put the dark at the top of these little eyes, closest to that scarf that's over her head. And then we're going to put the light color on the bottom. And I'm going to touch it just a little bit on the edge of each side. And then I'm going to do just the middle real quick. I want to keep that much lighter than the rest. I don't usually use the G00 with fluorescent colors, but if you've watched me, you know I always use it with eyes. So we're going to do it. But we're only going to put just a little bit along this bottom here. And this G00 is usually what makes it pop a little bit more. It's adding just a little bit of a different color in there with those fluorescents so that it will stand out a little bit more. Almost glow-like. Let's see if we can get it without the shadow. They almost look like they're glowing. And if you want to enhance that glow look, you have to go in with the multi-liner and put the black in her eyes. So a lot of people don't do this, but it really makes an enormous difference. So I want you to see the difference between these two. See how much more you can see the eye on the left than you can on the right. So that's why I put the black back in, but I really only do it in the eyes because I really want the eyes to stand out. The images jump off the pages. That's the point. That is what I'm trying to do. And then you have to let the black dry before you can put the white gel pen in, but I am going to put that on so it can dry while we put the card together. So this is my favorite white gel pen. It's the Deco Gel Milky Way pen. It's amazing. And when it runs out, you just take this off, order one of these, put a new one in there, and you don't have to buy the whole pen again. You just have to buy it once. You can buy them one at a time online at Karen Markers. And then we're going to put a little bit right here on these little stones because we kind of want them to stand out just a little bit. And then I think I might put a little bit along here just because I want to just emphasize that part, and maybe a little bit here and here. If you just touch lightly, you get a really small area. And then we'll put a little bit on the shoe, just like right around there, a little bit smaller there. And then we have our white gel pen. So what I'm going to do is lift her up off of this sticky mat that I got from the Dollar Tree, super cheap. I'm going to cover that back up and put it away. And these are what I use when I color, and I've already cut my image so you guys don't have to watch me fussy cut. This is my girl. I'm going to hold her up so you can see her. See, she's so pretty. She is absolutely unstoppable. Okay, so who's ready to learn how to make the card? Now, if you weren't here at the beginning of the show, this is the card that Dale made last week, and this is the request I had was, how do you make that card like that? Dale's is 5.5 by 5.5, so the mechanism will work in different size cards if that's what you want to make. I'm going to alter it for an A2 card. So I have a bunch of pieces I cut out for decorations and words and all kinds of stuff. You want to learn. Okay. I'm also going to try something a little bit different with it, and I hope it works. If it doesn't, we'll adjust. Okay. So when you do this, you're going to start off with an A2 card base like this. And our card base is 8.5 by 5.5, same as a regular card. You're going to score it a 4 1/4. You guys all know that part. So I'm just reiterating it. But I'm going to bring on this little scoreboard because it hates my big scoreboard. The camera hates my big scoreboard. So I'm going to bring this one in, but I'm still going to use my tool from my Caterpillar one because I like it better. Dale did a great job. I enjoyed watching. I can't wait to take notes tonight. Yes, he did do a great job. So this is the tricky part. You can measure it from here to wherever once you do yours, but for me, it was easier to just say, I'm going to go 3/4 from the center line towards the left. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3 right here. Going to score that. And then I'm going to go 3/4 again. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do that line. It's that simple. I just didn't want to measure it, but if you really need to know, it's at 2 3/4, 3.5, and then your original 4 1/4. But I did it the other way when I was figuring out how to do it. And then what we're going to do, we're done with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this card. I'm going to flip it the other way like we had it on the scoreboard this way. I'm going to flip it this way so I can fold it in half. I'm going to use my Trinity Stamps foam folder because love it. And then we're going to fold this back. And then we're going to fold this forward. So just like a fan. One back, one forward. Now, I noticed when I scored it, it's not exactly perfect. So I just kind of hold it there and burnish it where it is pretty perfect. There is a little bit of a gap right there, but it's not really going to matter in the realm of everything. So now I have this little piece that looks like this. Okay? So it's kind of a little M when you look at it. That makes sense. All right. Next, what we're going to do is, I'm not going to do the mechanism yet. I want to do some decorating on this before we put the mechanism in there. Okay? So the first thing that you have to do is you have to attach the front piece to the first flap. Okay? So just open up that first flap like this and put glue right here. Whoops, don't go too far. You can do glue, double-sided sticky tape, whatever works for you. You're going to flip that over, lay it down, use your tool, and you're going to burnish that together just like that. Okay, once you have that together, when you open up your book, it does this. Homemade, not perfect. Exactly, Lori. Wow, it's been a long time since I saw you. I hope all is well. You can also open it like this. So you can pull it like this, or you can open it like this. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. So I'm just going to burnish all of those areas, make sure everything is the way that I want it. Okay, so it is going to lay flat, and you are going to be able to mail it in a regular, in a regular envelope. I do want to put my papers on first before I put the mechanism because it is flat and it's easier to do it that way. So what I did was, let me grab my measurements. I have pattern paper measurements right here. So this is my front panel, okay? And if I want to mat it, I need a 2.5 by 5 1/4. So I decided I would mat it with the yellow. Just because I thought the yellow would be really neat. With the pink, it just all kind of, you know, matches everything. So I'm going to attach that right here. I like to add this stuff before I get too much dimension going on the card, just so it doesn't make my life harder. Okay, and then the pattern paper, the next one's 2 1/4 by 5. So I chose this paper from the comic universe because, you know, we have a ninja and she's unstoppable. So I thought this paper would be great. This is paper from our shop. It's in the comic universe paper pad set. It's got a whole different view on the other side. So they're all double-sided. You get 4 of each paper in there, so you get quite a few. You can make a lot of stuff with it. There we go. We have panel 1 done. Now, this says the inside left. When you open it up like this, when I say the inside left, I mean this piece right here. And you need that to be 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. If you want to,
Sorry, late. I joined the Procreate membership and we had a live tonight.
Uh-oh. That's okay. You can always watch the replay. 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 will fit right here. And then the other one is 1 1/2 by 5. And I used the same paper from the front. So it kind of continues into the inside. So I'm going to attach this one. Right here on the inside. Just like that. This is going faster than I thought. I think the mechanism is where we're gonna take our time just so you can really grasp the mechanism. It's not hard, but you have to really see it and understand. And when it goes by too fast, you need a second to breathe. So we're going to take our time a little bit slower on that part because I'm pretty sure most of you guys know how to do matting of pattern paper. This center piece right here, you don't have to decorate it, but I had an extra piece that matches up with the one that was over here. So instead of matting it, I decided to just use this paper with it. Why not, right? So that I don't have a mat here. I figured the mat would make it look silly because it would only be like this big and you wouldn't be able to see it. So 1/2 by 5 1/4 for this piece. But I wanted something in there. I like the pink. I just didn't want to overpower with the pink. So I decided to do it like this. Just make sure you don't go over either one of these lines or you'll have a problem opening and closing. But at this point, as you can see, it's totally fine. I mean, some of this you won't see unless you open it all the way up. But I wanted it there just in case. So you can skip that if it doesn't work for you. The right side mat is 4 by 5 1/4.
Both Beth have joined.
Yay! My Beth 1 and Beth 2 are here. Welcome, welcome. We are rebuilding a card that Dale did last week with instructions and measurements per request. So this one is going to go on this side. And as always, this video will be uploaded to YouTube, so you will be able to rewatch if you missed something. So no worries. I chose to do this a different view over here, and you'll know why when the ninja pops out. It just is perfect. So I chose a different paper. This is the back side. So there are lots of different papers in here. But I liked this one with all the comic. This is also from the comic universe, but I really wanted her to pop out over the city. All right. So now we have, this is our entire, like, it's ready to go now. Even that looks cool together, doesn't it? It's perfect. Okay. So those are your pattern paper measurements. I'll flip through them one more time when we're done. And then now we're going to work on the mechanism. So we're going to do the mechanism in 2 parts, okay? So this instruction sheet right here, you're in love with the backgrounds. Yours are on the way. This is the part that I talked about scoring the base. And then we're down here to the mechanism part, which you need a piece of paper that is 2.5 by 1 inch. And I want the mechanism to be the same color as the card base. So I just kept a scrap. And I'm going to set that aside so we can see. And then I'm just going to cut it to 2.5 by 1. And this is what's going to make all the magic happen. So tiny, I know. And then score it. We're going to score it now. We're just going to stick it on here. We're going to score at 1/2 inch. So right here. And then 1 1/4 right here. And then 2. So that leaves us a little 1/2 inch on both sides. And kind of a box in the center. So it looks like this, which looks like the picture. So if you're taking any snaps of what what it looks like, there it is. Looks just like the picture. Now we're going to go to phase 2. And
you use heavy cardstock or 65-pound?
I'm just using the Stampin' Up paper, which I think is somewhere around 80 pound. I didn't have to do anything crazy with it. So, and it works like really well. Like,
if you use heavier cardstock, you do have to work the fold a little bit on the mechanism so it has enough movement. It loosens the fibers up so it can move back and forth and do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. This is the only part that you have to really pay attention to, okay? This is the key. So I'm going to take my little ruler here, and from the bottom of this, on that middle score line, I'm going to measure up about 1/8 of an inch. So really, really small. It's this second notch on your little ruler. And I'm just going to make a little line there, right over that center line. Right there. Okay? Super simple. And then what we need is a diagonal line from here to here and from here to here. So just make a V from where your little line mark is all the way up to where your first score line is, and just draw a line there. Then we're going, oh, I got that kind of off. I want to fix that. Hold on. A little bit hard to do without as much light as I like to have, because I have to work a little bit in the dark when I'm on camera, because the lights become too bright and you guys can't see what I'm doing. So now I'm going to go to the other side, the other corner. And that's it. I just drew myself a little V on there, which is the same thing I showed you right here. Now, this part you don't have to do, but it helps you not be able to see the design so much. So I am going to take one side, and I'm just going to trim just a triangle off of one side. And then I'm going to close this in half and trim the other triangle. It just helps you not see that part sticking out when you attach the mechanism. So however you want to fold on this line, for me, I find it easiest to just put it back on my scoreboard and just line up my little diagonal on the scoreboard and then score it. That just that's the easiest for me. But if you can fold straight, then by all means, go for it and just fold it. But I need to do it like this because that's how it works for me. So I'm going to take my fun eraser that I love so much, that's always sitting somewhere underneath everything on my desk, which is this high polymer eraser, which is super cheap at Michael's. And I'm just going to erase the pencil lines that I put on there, because now I have score lines and I'm real happy with all of that. So I'm just going to erase those so I don't have to see them. And that's it. This is the main part. So when you do it, this center part is going to fold back. Is that right, honey?
Yes.
And this part is going to go down. So it's going to go like this. So you can kind of fold it. Woo! Watch out. That's a slippery little sucker. Hey, Phyllis. So when you fold it, you just want to make sure that it all lines up. So if your lines were a little off, this is when you fix it. Okay? Once you get it folded, then you can burnish it. And it should look just like this. Just a little bit, just a little half triangle kind of thing. So it's going to do this. See how it does that? Whee! And then these ones are going to go back. So these two sides are going to fold back. Just like this. And then once you have those folded back, this center piece is going to fold down. So you're going to kind of look something like that. Okay? So as long as you have this where it can fold down and you have these folded back, we can add the mechanism to our project. Okay? So that is it. The only other piece we have to do is the little arm that makes him pop out, and I'll show you that in a minute. Let's attach this little goodie to the inside of our card. Now, you want to decide what image you're going to put inside your card, because you need to know how big this person is inside the card and if they're going to be hidden. You want them inside the card and hidden. You don't want it hanging out. See how it hangs out just a little bit right there? You gotta push it back in. So you gotta find out exactly how big your image is, and that's how I decided, oh, this would fit in an A2 card. Sometimes they won't, and you gotta put them in a bigger card, but that's entirely up to you. Okay, this mechanism right here is gonna get attached inside here. So the center line's gonna line up with that. And then your other two pieces are going to get adhered. But the key to it is, how far up do I want to go? So I did test a Ninja in there. I tested it. I kind of played with it a little bit to see how it would pop out. And I measured exactly where I wanted it to be.
When you line it up to glue it down, you want the center line to the fold line to be offset away from it. You don't want the creases to line up.
Okay. So I wanted mine to measure, I wrote it down, hold on. It says assemble at 1.5 from the bottom and add the mechanism. So I'm going to go about 1.5 from the bottom of the card. So I think I'll do it right here, 1.5. Okay, 1.5 inches. And then when you adhere this side, you want to bump it up against this. So he's right. It is off just a little bit.
Yeah, you want to be towards the other side of the card. So you want to put it more on the edge of the...
Why are you I've done this already. I know how to do it. Why are you explaining it to me? I figured it out. I got it. I'm good. Thank you, though.
I'm just giving you my expert opinion.
He's giving me his expert opinion, you guys.
I just saw when you initially laid it down, you had the two...
okay, so I'm going to take
up
this side, and I'm going to line it up. Oh, I think I wanted it up here. Yeah, I want it all the way up here. I want to go up 1.5 inches. So I lined it up so that it matched equally right here. So it's very smooth. It lines up with that line right there. Got to give that glue a second to dry. So I'm going to use my little press here and hold it for 1 second. And then I'm going to fold it down. I'm going to add my glue right here. And then I'm going to close it. Just like that. And I'm going to hold it until it sticks. And then I'm going to open it. See that? It folds in, it pops out. It folds in, it pops out. That's what we want right there. And I made it the same color as the background of the card so it wouldn't stand out too much if you saw it. So there we go. Our mechanism is in there. Now for the arm, that's what I call it, the arm. So for the arm, we need a measurement of 3 inches long, 3 inches this way, and 1/4 inch high. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly that, and I've decided to try acetate. I have not tried this yet. I used paper before, but I thought a sheet of acetate might work better, so we're going to try that. So let me trim that down. I need it to be about 3 inches. Yes, this is pink acetate. That's what happens when your husband's a cosplayer. And then 1/4 inch. This right here is a 1/2 inch, so I'm going to eyeball it right about here, and I'm going to cut it. So now I have 1/4 inch, about iffy, and 3 inches long. And I have an extra sheet in case it messes up. Now, this is acetate, and it does have a cover on it, so I need to peel that cover off. It's still pink, so I think it matches the whole project really nicely. I mean, my husband gave me all kinds of colors of this acetate, and it's slightly thicker than like a window sheet. But see how clear it is? It just has a little bit of a pink tint to it, which I love. Okay. Now, when I attach this, I'm going to actually use double-sided sticky tape just because I'm a little bit nervous about the glue holding the acetate. So most of the time, I would just go with the glue, but in this case, I'm just going to use double-sided sticky tape. Now, that may show, so I may have to cut a little, like a little square, or use one of those squares to put over it so I don't see the tape, but I'm not really all that worried about that. Most people aren't going to be looking at that anyway. So I'm going to add this right here. So I want it right at the top. And don't go past the fold line. Then I'm going to peel this off. And I'm going to lay my sheet of acetate right here. I'm going to fold my card and make sure that it folds with the acetate on there, and it does. So yay, that works. So we got that. So the mechanism works. That's fabulous. Now we have to get this little girl to hide inside the card. So here we go. The way I did this was I just practiced with like how far in I could put her.
Probably double over some washi tape, stick it to the arm, and temporarily fix your guy to it.
I wanted to make sure I could fit her in there. And then I kind of looked
Hello, Mom.
About where that would be. It's kind of a little bit on right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a dot of glue. We'll come back and glue more. I just want to be able to take her off of there if I don't get it exactly right. So let's just lay her on there for a second. Lift her up. Oh, I didn't leave her on there long enough. She didn't dry. Lift her up. And she hides. Yay! I got her on there right. And look, she's on the whole city, which I love. So now that I know exactly where I want her to be, just going to make a little line on her, and then I'm going to add some tape on there because I want to make sure that she stays on there. So see, I marked exactly where I want that to be. And then I'm going to use my double-sided sticky tape so I can make sure that she stays where she's supposed to be. And I don't want to go past that area because I don't want her to stick to the card. I want her flying and flying and flying. So I'm going to take this off. I wasn't sure this acetate would work, but I am kind of liking it. So we'll see when we get done if she flies the way we want her to fly. So I'm just going to kind of close it a little bit so I can kind of see where I'm placing this. So I want to make sure I get her in the right spot. Make sure I have her centered, and I do. And she closes and she fits. And then once I have her where I want her, I'm going to squish her. Because, you know, you got to. And then when you close it up, she hides inside. And then when you pull it open, she pops out. Ta-da! Pow. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Dale is so cool. And he came up with that idea for sure. But he saw it on this person's, was it Instagram or YouTube?
YouTube.
This person's, he saw a quick short on GAYATRIS crafts page. And then he built it from there. But he saw the idea from this lady right here. So if you're interested, you can go check her out. We like to give dibs where they belong. And she clearly did a fabulous job. I'm just reiterating now that I've folded this all different ways.
Yeah, I was joking with Sandy. She's doing the card to show me up that she could do it better.
That is not true. Okay, now I have a bunch of sentiments and some stars that I cut out of the stamp set that I have. And I think we're going to add a little bit of shiny to them so that they stand out a little bit. So I have this pen that I really like called a Jelly Roll, and it's just a glittery color. It's clear. You can see it sparkle. Whatever color you put it on, it's going to make that color sparkle. So I wanted to use it for this happy birthday, just to give it a little bit of a sparkle and shine. So I'm just kind of coloring in the happy birthday. You can do this with markers or crayons or gel pens, or leave it alone, or color it in black, or whatever floats your boat. But I thought this shimmery, glittery look would be amazing for this superhero. So just going to take me a second. We're almost done, and I will show you all the measurements one more time. If you want to just take a snap of them, I can show them to you, or you can watch the replay on YouTube or in this Facebook group for 30 days. And then after 30 days, Facebook deletes it. So there is my happy birthday, and look how much shinier it looks. It's so cool. And then I have Pow and Boom. And I really want Pow to be where she pops out. So we are going to put that one inside. So I'm going to let this one dry. It needs a second. And then I'm going to put the Pow up here so you can see it when she pops out. The only problem with putting them above or where they have to go over is to make sure that you get it down really flat so it doesn't snag on it if you're going to put anything in there. You don't want it to snag on her. So, pow! There she goes. All right. Then I'm going to add the boom over here where the boom is. because it looks like it's exploding. And then the sentiment that says, another year wiser, braver, and unstoppable. So we, of course, can't put it down here because then you can't see it. So I'm going to add it right here in the center on the front. And I did these all in the same color of the card because I just thought that would make them mesh really well. But you can, of course, do them in whatever colors you want. And then here's our happy birthday. Now I'm going to actually put that one in this corner over here. Just like that. I'm going to press don't turn because I don't know if it's dry yet, but I'm just going to press and lift because I don't want to smear anything. And then I have all these, but because we're a girl, we have to have bling on top of our stars because it's just not the same if you don't. You must have bling. We must have bling. Us ladies must have bling. So I'm going to just add a dot in the center of these big stars first. And maybe I'll do something different with the smaller stars. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to use my picker tool. I'm going to grab, oh yeah, I think I'll use pink. I'll use the pink gems because they have small ones that I need for the smaller ones. And then big ones for the bigger stars. Don't worry, the Barely Art glue dries clear, so if you get it on your stuff, you don't have to worry about it. It'll go away. Here, there's another little one. Perfect. That's all I need is 2 little ones. Now watch, my picker tool will only pick up little ones. And that's exactly what's happening. Every time I dip in there, I get a little one. There's a big one. So I'm going to stick this one here. And one more. And hopefully that hasn't dried by the time I get another one picked up. I'm not very good with this picker tool. It's not the tool, it's the user. Honestly, it's user error. I'm just not very good at it. And then little ones right here and right here. And I don't really worry that much about the glue because I know it dries clear and I don't have to worry about it. But I thought these make the stars extra special because they're girly. There we go. All right, that gets me some gems. And now I'm just going to place them around on the card. Like here is a good one. And then I need some over here as well. And yes, I did fussy cut these out before the show. You guys, I couldn't help myself. I could have just stamped them straight on the background, but I just thought it would be neat to have them cut out. So I cut them out because, you know, can't help myself. You can see the sparkle from the pen on the happy birthday. It's super cool, isn't it? All right. And I'm doing 5 because, you know, there's odd in everything in the world. So I'm doing 5 stars. We do have to be careful that we don't put any where our little girl will get stuck. But I don't think she goes down quite this far down here. So I'm going to add one down there. And then I'm going to add one more and then we're going to be done. And then our whole card is going to be done. Can you believe it? I'll add this one back up here. And it just kind of goes nicely with it. All right. Okay, here we go. Presentation. Are you ready? Look at the sparkly bling in there. It says, another year wiser, braver, and unstoppable. Look at her. Is that not the coolest? Yeah, you don't really have to decorate the inside, but if somebody opened it up, they can see what it looks like. And she's floating. She's not touching the back of the card. She's kind of floating out there. What do you think? Isn't that cool? Ta-da! Okay, now that I've played with her, and believe me, I cannot stop. I really, honestly, I cannot stop. I was sitting over here like this. I mean, I just can't help myself. It's so cute and so much fun. Okay, let's go through the measurements one more time real quick for those who don't want to watch the whole video. You can just skip through to the end. Here we go. This is how we started. The A2 card base, score in the center, then score from the center left 3/4 of an inch twice. Then here's the mechanism, cut 2.5 by 1, score at half, 1 1/4, and 2. So you might want to grab a snap of that. 1, 2, 3.
Open the card up again.
Hold on. Let me finish this. Then it says, mark the mechanism 1/8 from the bottom and then diagonal lines to the first and last score line. So this is 1/8 from the bottom and then diagonal this way to those first and last score lines. And then cut the top and right left corners. Doesn't have to be perfect, just cut it wherever. And then your arm is 3 inches by 1/4 of an inch, and you can use acetate or paper, whatever works for you. You adhere it right here. Okay? 1, 2, 3. If you want to take a snap, now's the time. Here's the next page. If you want to do your pattern papers, these are the sizes you need for the pattern papers. So 1, 2, 3, snap it now. And then this last page right here says assemble 1/2 inch from the bottom and add the mechanism. And that was 1/2 inch from here. And you'll want to measure your little person or item before you put exactly where you want it, because you may want her to pop out a little higher or a little lower, but make sure she stays within the card. You don't want to do it up too high because then she'll pop outside of the card up here. So just be careful with that part. Just play around with where you want her to be.
Okay, put the
and
diagram
then
of the
that is
mechanism.
it. The diagram.
Yes. So hold that. Get your sticky sheet.
Yeah.
With the diagram of the mechanism. Put that on the desk.
This one?
Yes, and you'll have to hold the card open on the table. Okay, now put it down. If you want to do something like if you have like a Superman or if you have birthday balloons, what you can do, and here you can show them, you can invert this so it folds the other way, and you can put it 1.5 inches from the top so it swings from the bottom up.
So Dale is saying if you were to fold this way and do your mechanism the opposite of this, these aren't folded real great, you guys, because I'm just, but make your mechanism pop out instead of going in. You can do it from the top. Is that what you're talking about?
It's still going to fold in.
Is it?
But instead of the V going up, your V is going to go down.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The point of the V is down, while here your point's going to be up.
Do I have another one of these folded up nicely? Because this one is.
And so what it'll do is it'll just invert this and swing it up so you can have your balloons rising up.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to play with that, you guys. I haven't done that yet. So basically, this is what the mechanism looks like, except you don't fold all the way down. But anyway, he's saying if you put it this way, put your mechanism going the opposite way, then your little balloons will go down.
So the balloons will start here, and then when you open a card, when you slide the card, they'll move
open up this way.
Yes.
So just flip your mechanism. If you want her to fly into the card and then pop out, you will do it this way. And if you want it to go
raise up.
If you want it to raise up as you open the card instead of, so she goes up when I close the card. If you put the mechanism the opposite way up here, then she'll go down when you close the card. That makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But just try it. I mean, you just have to play with it. That's what I did. But I hope you guys liked that. I hope you learned something. I hope you'll try it. Please share in the group if you do try it. It's perfect with your superheroes, and it's amazing with your dragon. Ta-da! I mean, Dale did a fabulous job. It's just, I'm an A2 fan, so I had to modify. But look, so cool, and it works so well. I mean, what kid wouldn't play with that like a million times? You plan to try it? Yay! Okay.
And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Sandy. She will guide you along.
I will help you if you need help. So reach out if you need help. Anyway, I hope you guys really liked that. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps our channel. Catch me tomorrow night on Happy Crafty Ho-Ho's channel on YouTube. It's spelled Happie, not Happy. So Happie, Crafty Ho-Ho. I'll be on her show tomorrow night, so if you want to craft with me again tomorrow, join me there. Otherwise, I will be back here on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, reach out. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Good night.